All right, we're live.
Holy shit.
I know, dude. It's all happening. This is very strange.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
Yeah.
Coming at you live on tape. Digital tape.
Digital tape's not a thing. It's all ones and zeros, man.
From the
It's all ones and zeros these days. Maybe you could use a refresher course.
I really could.
Yep.
We are coming at you live on tape from the Kansas City downtown Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah. Right across the street from the whatever county this is, correctional facility.
Yeah. This is This is the place you come when you visit somebody in jail.
Right.
And they tell you can't visit because you're wearing too short of a skirt. So you come over here to stay.
My skirt isn't too short.
No, it is not. I can verify that, everybody.
Boy.
I'm sitting on the floor of a hotel room, which is interesting. We just had a lovely conversation about that.
About how badly you don't want to run black lights over your average hotel room floor.
Yeah, we didn't bring a black light for that very reason.
Yeah, well, ignorance is bliss.
It really is.
I mean, I know what's probably happened on this floor and what's probably in the carpet, but I'm not planning on licking the soles of Joel's feet. Not tonight, anyway.
Not tonight, man. We're not there tonight.
Not there tonight, nope.
But we're on the road.
Yeah, what are we doing?
We're going to go see a concert.
We're going to go see a concert. We're going to go see Sleater-Kinney.
Oh, my God.
And Wilco.
And Wilco.
Yeah.
Double bill.
I'm pretty excited about all of that. Apparently there's a third band, too, that I don't even know who they are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently there's a third, like an actual opening act.
So that means we might get 2 full sets out of each. Well, Sleater-Kinney probably doesn't have as much in the catalog.
I bet they play for an hour.
I'm here for it.
Right.
That's going to be great.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm excited. It's live music.
Hot,
and it is hot, and this show is it's been moved because of the whole COVID thing, which thanks to people not getting vaccinated is ramping up again.
Yeah, we get to sweat our faces off outside.
I am a little bit chafed because this trip was originally supposed to be a long romantic weekend for my wife and I.
Yeah.
And instead I'm stuck with you.
Sorry about it.
It's quite all right. Glad you're here.
Yeah, it's not going to be that I mean, it might be emotional, but it's not going to be romantic,
right.
Dude.
Yeah.
So we're just going to set that precedent
I'm
now.
totally fine with that. We have 2 beds.
I posted many photos of the hotel room to the Instagram.
This hotel room sucks.
It's great, man. It's so great.
It's completely devoid of personality or culture or anything. The beds, I think, are decent.
There's not even bad. There's
bad one little piece of corporate art over in the corner.
It kind
like this
of
whole
making
place,
me dizzy.
like the furniture in here would make like IKEA furniture look built to last.
Yeah. This is Walmart stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty.
The USB ports don't work.
No, that they don't. The USB ports are installed incorrectly.
There's some sort of weird black substance in the freezer part of our fridge. I noticed.
I haven't looked at that yet.
Well, yeah. So I'm excited.
I'm excited just to go eat at Minsky's. That's what I'm excited.
Okay, this episode.
Because ultimately what this is literally just a box for us to sleep, shower, and shit in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because this episode 40, this is our 40th episode.
That's amazing.
Is brought to you by Minsky's Pizza, and I'm going to tag them in
Good,
this.
do.
Because I went to Minsky's for the first time last week when Kirsten and I were in Kansas
it was
City.
ridiculous.
Here's what it reminds me of, and I don't know if anybody's really going to... Okay, so folks in Lincoln and Nebraska and maybe elsewhere might get this. It reminds me of really good Godfather's pizza, and that may turn you off. Hold on.
Okay.
But what it reminds me of is it's Sax's Pizza's highest self. Do you know what Sax's Pizza is?
I don't know what that is.
Sax's Pizza was this pizza place inside Boulevard Lanes in Columbus, Nebraska that I think now...
How would I know what that is?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sometimes you know stuff.
That's true.
But Sax's Pizza was the best.
Okay.
And this place is like Sax's highest self.
Okay.
And they have fake meat products.
By fake meat, can you expand on that?
Yes, they have Impossible Italian sausage substance.
We love you guys, seriously.
That sounds like if you're a junior high and you're looking for a garage band name, Impossible Italian Sausage Product Substance is your new band name.
That's right up there, yeah.
But they also have like Beyond Meat pepperoni, I think, which is a big meat. It's a big win for us because
non-meat-eaters.
We're trying to get Beyond Meat to sponsor us, but
right
for me,
sure. I'm glad that you get to have that experience.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to go see some bands. We saw some bands. I was here last week, saw the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl,
Killed it.
melted everybody's face.
That video of them trolling the Fed Phelps people
my
was so
God.
great. That was so good.
So yeah, Foo Fighters, they told us during the show, but apparently after sound check, they packed everybody up, including their backup singers and their equipment, on a flatbed truck and rode out to where the Westboro Baptist Church was protesting them and played You Should Be Dancing to them.
Yep.
Dave Grohl swears he saw one of the protesters actually dancing.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great show. It was a little intense. There was a lot of people, but we were in the back. It's I call it sandstone.
Sandstone.
I know it's not sandstone.
It's always sandstone.
It's always going to be sandstone.
Yep.
It's always going to be Deer Creek, and it's always going to be sandstone. So, yeah. So it was nice. It was great. And then you and I saw a couple nights ago,
Avett Brothers and Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson and his son Lucas Nelson.
Yeah, Lucas was great. I had never seen him before, and he did a fine job. And I think Willie was definitely in passing the baton mode.
I think so too. I think that's really.
But it's always good. Like Willie Nelson was probably one of the first actual concerts I saw as a kid.
Yeah.
At the Nebraska State Fair. It was like, I don't know, 83, 84. So I would have been early teens maybe. And he was great. As I recall, it was a long time ago. But I've seen him a number of times over the years in various situations. Last time I think was opening up for Bob Dylan at Haymarket Park in Lincoln.
Wow.
What's more American than seeing Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan at a minor league ballpark?
That's the America I want to live in, Steve.
That's what I'm saying. And for that night, we got to live in that America. It was great.
Dude, yeah. And he, I think our previous guest, Mike Simrad, said this in his post about the Willie show on social media. He said, at this point, Willie's kind of a shaman,
Yeah.
And he kind of, he sat on his stool, sang what he wanted to sing,
right?
Didn't sing what he didn't want to sing,
right?
Played what he wanted to play, didn't want to play the riffs that he didn't want to play.
Yep.
But the band was there for him, like they always are,
right?
And his son was there, sort of filling in. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It's always nice. My memories of it's always nice to just see him. He kind of gets people that I heard Willie sucks the last time I saw him. Like, well, what were you expecting?
Yeah,
it's like he. If you saw him 3 years ago, then he was like 86 years old.
Exactly.
And like, what? I love that he comes out with no pretense,
right? Not
trying to be anything other than what he is.
Yep.
And when he sang "Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die,"
it was awesome.
That was awesome. I mean, he was 100% saying, "This is it, folks."
Yeah, I totally got that.
Yep. It was amazing.
Their cover of "Just Breathe" by Pearl Jam really made the night for me. Nice. And then the Avett Brothers came out and played their stuff.
Then they played their stuff, yeah. Which, frankly, for me was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the way home, or way here. It was like I'd seen him before, and I don't know what the vibe was, but it was different than the first time I saw him.
I was hot and I was tired, and I frankly didn't care very much.
You were at a point where you didn't care about it.
It was 100%. I'm like, I've seen this. They're going to do the thing, and then they're going to play the other thing, and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I just don't really care about it very much right now.
Well, Willie only played for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was longer than that.
Was it?
Yeah, a little bit. I think he played for almost an hour.
We got there kind of late, but so it was like they seemed to
because for me, that was like, for better or worse, like I love Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
His like greatest hits album and a couple other Stardust, and and some of his later stuff with the other people that he's worked with has been cool. I love the album Teatro that he made with Daniel Lanois, just because I love Daniel Lanois.
Yeah.
That was great. You know, but I mean, he just as soon as he walked out on stage, I was like, there he is.
There he is. You're in the presence of great. That's the feeling I got. I got that when Bob played there, although that show of Bob Dylan's was really good when he played at Pinewood the last time.
But it was he was singing like the American Standard Songbook thing, which was, for me, I was like, it's nice to hear him do that.
I thought it was lovely.
Yeah, okay.
But
it was lovely.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any expectations.
That helps.
That helps a lot. But it's like you're in the presence of greatness. You know what I mean? Kind of with Willie. There's Willie Nelson. Like,
right, yeah.
This isn't going to last. Nope, nothing lasts forever.
Right.
That sure as shit isn't going to last forever.
Nope.
Enjoy it.
100%.
Yeah. So that's where I was at. And yeah, it was good to be at shows, man. I'm excited for this show tonight.
I have no expectations about this.
That's kind of where I'm at too. I mean, I know Sleater-Kinney's older stuff because
you were all into that. I never was. So this is going to be an education for me.
The only reason I really got into listening to them at all, which is you can email the show if you want at ttbbpodcast@gmail.com.
Nailed it.
Boom. Is because they toured with Pearl Jam.
Oh.
And I kind of was like, well, who the hell is this? You know? And then really got into it early on, but the last album, I don't know shit about.
Sure.
And frankly, I mean, I think I said this, I don't know, a few weeks ago, that I don't really have a huge connection to the last couple of records from Wilco. Although I know they're good, I didn't really listen to them in depth.
Nope. And that's like we know a couple super fans of Wilco that like seen them many multiple times and do deep dives on all of them, like I can do about another band. Yeah. And I'm like, I know Jeff Tweedy.
Yes.
I have his book. And
It's right there on the bed.
I've liked Jeff Tweedy since 1998 probably. But I've never been a super fan just because I've been doing other stuff. Like I haven't done the deep dive on Wilco. Although when I listen to him, I like listening to him.
Yeah.
I was listening to Yankee Hotel Foxtrot on my way to work the other day.
God.
That album's so intense.
It's really intense.
It's so intense.
It's like
it's all over the place.
It is all over the place. It's really gentle and quiet, and then it just kind of gets just almost intensely hardcore psychedelic weird.
Yeah.
Really,
it's a strange record.
Experimental.
And I can see how like the record company hated it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this? Why don't you give us something we can sell?
Yeah, but the fan, I mean, that put them on the map. That was their shedding of the alt rock skin.
Yep.
And
it was the caterpillar turned into the chrysalis.
Dude, for sure.
It was a huge risk, and it totally worked.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this show.
Yeah, I really hope that the venue works out and all that. See, I'm all uptight about it. I'm frankly kind of annoyed.
Because they changed it?
Well, because I had, again, this was supposed to be a nice night out for my wife and I. And,
sorry.
And I got the VIP thing and the decent seats and, the nice lounge situation at the theater. And now it's at some fucking box down the street. It's like we put some train cars out and made a venue, Like,
it's at this place called Grinders, which I was originally thought, I was like, is that a strip club?
That was my thought. It was like that thing from Arrested Development where Tobias worked in Reno, whatever that was. The family restaurant by day and the
strip club
the night. Yeah.
No, it's like an outdoor venue. It's sort of
I think it used to be called Crossroads KC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like it's but it's like if you look at it on Google Maps or whatever, it's
a box.
It's a box.
It's a heat box.
That's pretty much actually. Yeah. It's like whatever. It'll be fine.
So think about this.
But anyway, thanks to all you people who have refused to get vaccinated because you're really fucking up my concert tonight.
Really ruining our concert experience, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I just saw that like Fish. Well, and this show I just happened to catch on the Instagram.
And I'm glad that
Wilco
you did.
said they wanted vaccination proof, which is awesome.
It is awesome.
Makes me feel a little bit better about being down there.
100%. Yep.
But Dead and Company's doing it.
Yep.
Fish is doing it.
Yep.
And you got to show.
When Holly told me about Dead and Company this fall, because we're going to a couple of shows, and my first thought was, well, somebody's going to get rich selling counterfeit vaccine cards.
Yeah.
Somebody out there is going, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to get paid.
Fuck.
Yep.
But it's like yes, things get gnarly, things can spread around all kinds of folks, but you're really screwing yourself. If you're trying to fucking cheat that, you're cheating your own life.
The thing that's so stupid about that is like you could just go get the vaccine for free.
Yeah, for free. I hope somebody.
If I get Hy-Vee in Lincoln, you'll even get $10.
Yeah.
You can get paid to get the fucking vaccine.
Yeah, or you can shell out whatever, $25,000 to have a fake one.
Well, they won't be that much. They'll be selling them in the parking lot. Shakedown Street, they'll be selling them.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right next to the nitrous vendors. I'm serious.
No deals, man.
No deals.
Oh. Well, I was going to say there's some... God damn it. Cards, 3 for $20, no deals.
That's right.
No
Pretty
deals.
much, yeah.
And a balloon.
And a balloon. Yeah. Buy 3 cards, get a free balloon of nitrous.
Oh, my God. The thing... Well, I was going to say the serendipity of this is that this would have, the switches and the changes, it's like you had this whole thing planned out for you and your wife.
Mm-hmm.
She had a really important engagement to attend.
Yeah. So that kind of...
Yeah, that kind of screwed it up.
Which is fine. It's, no harm, no foul there, honey.
I'm
your
dirtbag friend that's willing to go... They wouldn't have been that pleasant for you guys. Well, maybe it would have. I don't know. She's down to party.
Yeah, totally.
But
like she likes concerts.
That's
it's like
true.
She's pretty easygoing when it comes to that kind of stuff. She's like, well, whatever. I mean, she's not like
she's not like you.
Right. Well, that's just it. We get balled up about different stuff.
Ah, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like she's like, whatever, it's outside now. Fine.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I'm like, no, fuck that. I want my VIP thing, and I want the good seats. Because now it's general admission, and we have to hassle.
It's my VIP, and I want it now.
That's exactly right. Where she's like, whatever, we'll just go. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a lot more chill about that sort of thing than I am.
I maybe I was assuming a lot, but I was like, yeah, I mean, like maybe she would have been
she
bummed
gets twist
out.
up about other things.
Sure.
You know, that I don't care about. Like, whatever.
That's what.
So we kind of, that actually, like when we went to Chicago, 2 months ago, like we functioned well as a team on that level.
Kirsten and I talk about that a lot. It was actually our friend Daryl that sort of pointed this out when we got engaged. It's like, the trick is, well, it's funny that he said that, but the trick is to have somebody in your life that shows you the side of the world that you can't see.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's really profound.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you guys do that for each other. I know Kirsten and I do that for each other when we're keeping ourselves sane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're doing the things we have to do.
And when you're not pushing your shit onto them.
Oh.
Not that I ever do that.
I am totally guilty of that.
Yeah.
It's like that Mark Maron joke. Why aren't you my mommy?
If I'm ever yelling at a woman, I always might as well just be saying, why aren't you my mommy? Why aren't you my mommy?
He's yelling that in a Holiday Inn Express.
That's right.
At 4 p.m.
Anybody that's in the hall right now is like, oh, boy.
Oh, boy. The room next to the elevator is getting weird.
Well, that's the other thing. The other Maronism that I just love is, you never really know if somebody... You never know if they love you unless you know you can make them cry.
Damn it. That's so
like,
true,
and if
man.
you haven't, then maybe you got to push that boundary a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Oh.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But I was kind of tripping on something you said earlier, though. Like, it's weird what we can't, like, I can let go of expectations of what the show is going to be like, but I have a lot of expectations of the logistics of doing the show.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
So
yeah.
How do I let go of all of that? How do I loose garment all of that?
Well, I remember you talking when you were trying to go see The Dead at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, my God.
And you were running late. And it was a fuck show getting in there.
The Hollywood Bowl. We were driving from Santa Cruz, and I timed it out on Google that we would get rolling right at enough time to find a place to park and walk. No, none of that happened. and it was like I had.
First of all, you were in Santa Cruz going to a Grateful Dead concert at the Hollywood Bowl, so that circumstance is pretty good.
It's great. But in between my ears, man, it was like, got to get there, got to leave, got to
get the thing.
We got to stop at this rest stop. We have 4.5 minutes, to get
Clark,
in and
full
out.
on Clark Griswold.
Totally, because I'm like, I need to go have the fun now, and
but there is a certain there's some truth to that in so much as that the fun happens within a finite time period.
Yeah,
the thing that you paid for and the event that you're like there for.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. They're not waiting for you.
They're not waiting.
No,
because once we parked at the United Methodist Church downtown in Hollywood. Great spot. We were walking up, and I could hear Shakedown Street starting, and I was like, "Okay, this is fine." Walking into the venue, but then the security there was gnarly, and it was. I love the Hollywood Bowl. It's amazing. Get there early, but it's like. But yeah, the expectations were through the roof, and therefore I'm in. And dude. Okay, this opens up an interesting little thing. Is that I noticed when I started like naming my anxiety, it was around going to a concert because I started to kind of like investigate it, and I was like, my fear is those people are having the fun that I'm supposed to have. If I'm late, if it's not working out, you know what I mean? That my expectations are so wrapped up in me having an experience. I can't be with myself if that goes awry.
That's interesting.
You ever
well, I think
that?
For me, yes, but I think for me, especially it kind of depends on the circumstance and the time period. Like way back in the day, like my life revolved around going to Grateful Dead concerts.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, that's a whole other topic. But so if that got messed up somehow, that was a problem.
Yeah.
Because that was what my construct was.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so my ability to, and frankly, my life wasn't very complicated back then, so we were usually there in enough time.
Sure. Right. You didn't have to fix a system before you left the office.
No, like I did today. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But so anyway, like, and then I don't know. I just get it. This is going to come as a shock to you and to our dozens of listeners that if I have a plan, and some thing or person gets in the way of implementing that, I don't react very well to that always.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's the same for yours manifests differently than mine, but the plan the plan is in between my ears, and I never express that to folks. Like, I'd love to do this and this and this, and I'm trying to do that with people. And Kirsten,
people should just do what you be where you want them to be without explaining that to them.
Yes, because I put on this facade of being the dude until it's obvious that the plan in between my ears isn't working. You're good about expressing.
I can be,
the schedule.
Like, this is what. I was really nice. I may have said this before, but Holly's mom actually like complimented me when we got back from Chicago. Now I'm guilty of the mic thing. She's like, "You guys did a lot, in like 3.5 days."
Right.
I'm like, "That's because I had a plan." She's like, "Well, yeah, but that's like you put some thought into that." I'm like, for like a month.
Yeah.
To like, well, this is the things that I would like to do. These are the things that I think they would want. These are the things that we have scheduled to do.
Right.
Let's fit it all in. And it was too much on one day, but we had too much too fast.
But that is a generous act, though.
Well, it's either that or we could just wander around downtown Chicago aimlessly without not knowing where we were or what we were supposed to be doing.
And that creates a certain level of anxiety and tension of like, well, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know what I want to do. I'm in a concrete jungle I've never been in.
Right. Exactly.
And,
well, it's just, ooh, shiny,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I don't know, the story around being proactive about a plan to me is that's just too rigid. We can't do that. Like, it's got to be free flowing and all this stuff, but it's inevitable in between my ears. I have an expectation or a plan.
But you kind of know what you want to do.
Yeah, but I don't express that. So then how the hell is Kirsten or anybody around me supposed to know?
Well, just because they should know.
They should know. I don't have the
so
digital.
How does Kirsten react to that?
Well, she knows me well enough by now to know that
to say hey, so do you have anything that you'd like to do today?
Right. And I've tried to get better at this. Ding, 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 the name of the podcast. I'm trying to get better. Honestly, I'm trying to get better being like, I want to do this thing. And she's very good about like, okay, let's make that happen. Like I mentioned, I'd like to check out a record store or two. I don't have to go to the specific one. I'd like to go to a record store because I don't, thumb through records is a thing I'd like to do.
Right.
But I told her, I said, if it's going to be a quick in and out, that's not good because I will just spend a bunch of money.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I want to be there for 45 minutes.
Want to marinate in the records for a little while.
And find something weird, which I ended up doing last week here. But she is very good. I mean, when we're both on our game, she shows me the side of the world I can't see, right? So she'll be like,
that's really awesome. I like that.
But when we're not on the same, there's a limit to that, I think.
Sure.
It's like, you're not helping me at all. You're just being a fucking maniac. But
right.
So she is good about that, and I try to be cognizant of her sort of timetable because what she has taught me in like on vacations and stuff is she wants to go to really interesting and out of the way restaurants.
Not pay way.
Not pay. She gave Steve so much shit about wanting to go to Payway in Boulder. She's like, "You're in Boulder, Colorado. You can go wherever you want." These crazy.
Right, and my point is, I want to go to Payway.
That's why we're going to Minsky's tonight. It's like, dude, it's great. It's there. It's pizza. It's good. Right. But she wants to do this, and then she always builds in some sort of like natural, like a hike or something like that. She's very good about that, and I have to let go sometimes of my not planning anything, or I want to go have the fun that other people are having, like that balance, I guess is what I'm saying. There's a balance there between what I think I should be doing versus what is really a good idea, the planning versus the not planning, but being flexible, but also having a plan of some sort.
Sure. Well, that's it. Okay. So it goes back to the thing of like having a plan is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But like we can make the plans, but you got to let go of the results.
Oh, fuck.
Even when it comes to your Clark Griswold ass vacation, you know?
Yeah. Even when it comes to joy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can't, you can try to arrange the plan to have joyful experiences. You can't manufacture the
joy.
The joy is something that you could experience if the concert gets rained out, or if it happens well, or if the pizza sucks, or
whatever.
You know?
Oh, the pizza sucks tonight. Well,
okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, I think that's true. I mean, like, I love that you said that, because that's kind of like, well, it happens. Well, that's keep saying the words Grateful Dead, but like that was a big thing. That's something that I kind of learned through them is like they set up like the crucible.
Yeah.
All the sound system, all the people, all the instruments, all the book of songs, all that. But they walked out on stage not knowing if it was going to happen that night.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of hoping, you know, I mean, like, obviously, there's some expectations there.
Yeah.
60,000 people showing up to see you do the thing. You should probably put on something resembling a concert.
Right.
But like that expectation of that X factor, the thing that we all came from, I walked into those concerts knowing that might not happen.
Right. Right. That is a huge lesson to
like
get taught,
knowing,
however you can get it.
Right. Like knowing like it might not happen tonight. All we can do is show up and cheer them on.
Yeah.
And hopefully something happens. And if it doesn't, yeah, maybe that's why you go with all 3 nights.
Well, on the way down here, I had to zoom into a work meeting, and I'm 15, 20 minutes into the meeting, and Steve's got his earphones in. He's listening to the Dead, and then all of a sudden he starts cackling.
Yeah.
I feel like
so great.
That's one of those things. Yep. What were you laughing about?
I was laughing because I was listening to August 12th, 1979 from Red Rocks, and the first 4 or 5 songs were not great. They were all right. They were having some sound issues, and it just really wasn't. Like, it was all right. It's fine. Yeah. I'm sure nobody there was complaining it's Red Rocks. And, it's fine, you know. But in the middle of one of the Mexicali Blues, there's this little throwaway cowboy. I shouldn't say throwaway, but it's just a little cowboy tune, you know. And they all came together and they hit it and they took off with the afterburners just full on this weird little cowboy, and it was so awesome. I just started laughing. Of course, this is where it starts to happen.
Exactly. They spooked the horse.
Yeah. 100. That's exactly what it was like.
The horse took off.
The horse went woo and took off. Yep. And I was just laughing because I was on the horse.
But that wasn't the plan. That's not how that song sounds.
That's what I'm saying. It was like. It was just this, and that's how it rolls with the Dead and like with life.
Yeah.
Is like, you just never ever, like if you're like, oh, this sucks, I'm going to just put my head down, fuck this.
Yeah.
But being open to, I'm just listening to them like, yeah, it's not great. Whatever. It's interesting, you know.
I was thinking,
and then it just happened. And I was like, oh my God, that's
somebody
so
accidentally lit the short fuse and the rocket took off.
Boom! That was great.
I was thinking about that this morning, actually, because like you had some work stuff, but I'm also like, man, we're in the middle of a pandemic still, and shit's not good. Yeah. I'm like, this shit could get canceled, and I felt like an old ghost of a feeling, like, oh, that'll fucking suck.
Yeah,
we had all these plans, but
it's bullshit.
I think we've all been taught. You know what? Nothing is certain. Like,
right.
I want to do a bit of a deep dive for a second. So I'm watching this show that our friend Luke recommended called Quark Science on Prime Video.
Okay.
And they talk about science, all kinds of aspects of science. And they were talking about sort of chaos theory a little bit.
Oh.
And the butterfly effect. But this last episode I was watching, they were talking about the fundamental fabric of the universe is based on things having a pattern, but there's no way you can predict that pattern. It's like at the very smallest level to the biggest level, there is uniformity, there's pattern that things follow, but it's all guided by uncertainty. And that's like, I'm like, God, that's such a perfect fucking, you know?
I'm going to have to just process that for a minute.
Yeah, man.
Probably offline, but that's, wow. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. That's what I don't know. I was just thinking about that as we kind of, this conversation sort of spiraled. It was like, yeah, that's kind of what we're all experiencing anyway.
Right.
We would have experienced that regardless of what the circumstances are. But maybe it's more clear to, or those that are willing to see it, like that at the building blocks of stuff, there's a lot that there's uncertainty is baked into the process.
Is it?
I think it is. Because I mean, do you disagree? You can totally disagree.
Well, I'm not a quark particle level scientist person, but it seems like there's a lot of, and this is everybody just needs to stop this for a minute and watch Rob Bell's YouTube thing on Everything is Spiritual.
Oh yeah, super good.
Just watch Everything is Spiritual by Rob Bell.
Yeah.
Whether or not you agree with him or not, it's very interesting and
Very
thought-provoking. Cool. So everything's always expanding and everything's always wanting to connect. Expanding and connecting. Expanding and connecting. Throughout the millennia, that's been the trajectory. And how that happens, I guess, is unpredictable.
Yeah.
But then I think of things like, and my knowledge of science is not great.
Me neither.
But things like atoms,
Yeah.
the building blocks of the universe, those seem pretty orderly.
Yeah, you can quantify them. You can, but the electron field in the atom, that electron's going to appear and disappear, and we don't know where it goes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And there's no way to predict that. We can say that there's several electrons circling that nucleus, but we don't necessarily know where that's going to appear. What you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like we can predict that there's so many there, but we don't know how that works. We don't know why that works. We may know why it works, but we can't predict its energy or its pattern.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think that's, and again, if you're a scientist, please correct us, email us.
Yeah.
I'm sure my colleagues would take some, there's probably some science colleagues.
Would you guys shut up?
Yeah, you guys don't know. This is how we got where we are. Two knuckleheads like you on a podcast trying to figure science out.
I'm not trying to figure it out.
No, I'm in awe of the connection between like the physical world and its unpredictability and the apparent and the clear unpredictability of our lives. We can pattern it.
Yes. Well, that's just, and that could be simplified to like, maybe we'll get hit by a bus tonight.
Maybe. Right.
Or I mean, any number.
Maybe
of
you'll
things
join the band.
Maybe I'll join. Maybe they'll be like, hey, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
And that it goes to show you don't ever know.
Yes.
You just literally don't ever know.
Yeah. And I think the shit I'm trying to work with is being okay with having some semblance of structure while being in awe and being okay with the mess.
Sure.
With the uncertainty.
And that's, I mean, there's, we live in uncertain times.
Yeah. And in these uncertain times.
Oh my God. And so that's where things like, I mean, I don't know, without certain practices in my life, I'd be a walking disaster area.
Yeah. Yep.
I would just buckle under and, I mean, well, I've done it before, so I know what that looks like. In much better circumstances.
Yeah.
Externally. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm able to provide for myself, my family pretty well and that sort of thing, but like really external circumstances, I mean, whoo! Like it's very hard to look at the world today and you go, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, everything's fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
Everything's burning and
fucking
dying.
Shit show, right? Everything's burning and dying.
4.3 million people died of a disease we didn't know about 2 years ago.
Yay! Yeah, but they didn't actually. They were just they were just actors. They were just actors.
Oh boy. But I think what you just said though about like certain spiritual principles, some sort of pattern or structure or whatever you want to call
practice
that embraces the chaos as well. You can't have one without the other. Like that's what I think this show is talking about, and I think probably theoretical physicists and those.
Yeah, because we're on the same level. Us and theoretical physicists.
Guys, we have a podcast. So
clearly we are forced to be reckoned with.
You know why? Because we're staying in a Holiday Inn Express.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
The commercial where the guy.
I don't know. I don't watch TV.
Oh, damn it. But there's people out there that got the reference.
Okay, good.
It's like,
I'm happy for
this
them.
guy walks into like a surgical room with a lab coat on and all this stuff, and they're like, "What gives you the authority, and he's like, I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night because it's so smart to stay with one.
I see.
See if I can explain the joke.
We'll see what the breakfast buffet looks like in the morning before I determine that.
Probably going to be pretty good.
Whatever. It's going to suck. They all suck. They're all terrible.
It does. It's like, you always like, man, free breakfast, great.
Hey, you know, when I was on the road for Nelnet, I'd go to Chicago like once a month, and I had to go there we were putting in a phone system. This is like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I was there for, I think, almost a week, and I stayed the same Hampton Inn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Long enough to like, I started getting into, like, the same people were there.
Oh.
And so I started noticing the patterns of individual people at the breakfast buffet.
Oh, wow.
Tan briefcase guy was going to go for the fruit first, and then he was going to go hit the waffle thing. Yeah. And I was sitting there like, oh, my God, there should be a study done on patterns, like hotel chain, back to, like, uncertainty and patterns.
Yeah.
And that was
all the things that are uncertain in that dude's life. The fruit comes first,
that's
then you do the thing,
that's exactly
then you get
right.
the coffee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know
See,
what I mean?
I'm a coffee and juice guy, and I go get, and then I put that at the table, so reserve my spot, because that's critical.
Oh,
there's an order to things.
Yeah, I feel
you. You have to reserve the spot, and then go and get the the cereal and the yogurt and the box of milk. And then I will take that back to my table, and then I will go start the waffle, and then I'll go back to my table and eat my cereal while the waffle cooks, and then that'll be kind of done. Then I'll go get my waffle.
I'm very different because it's coffee before everything.
Oh sure, yeah. Well,
and I'll take a few hits of the coffee,
and
then I'll look at the buffet, and then I'll be like, okay, I've got to get everything I need right now because it A, could be gone.
Sure.
And then B, also, like, I don't want to have to juggle if I'm in the middle of my Honey Nut Cheerios.
Are you like a one-trip guy?
Yes.
Because I'm like a 5-trip guy.
It doesn't mean I won't set stuff down. It just means I need to get everything now. Because if I'm in the middle of my Honey Nut Cheerios and then my waffle goes off, I want to make sure that my Honey Nut Cheerios don't get soggy.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And that I don't have to wait for the butter to melt on my waffle. So I got to curate the experience. I want it all now.
Yeah.
And I want to contain it now. But I get the efficiency of what you're doing there.
Sure. But that, I mean, it was just, but I remember thinking at that trip, like this is a thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw like the same 8 people for like a week.
Yeah.
We're all down at the same time.
Yeah.
We're all doing the same thing. And I noticed after a while, like, oh, he's going to go get that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became this little game to see like how insane I was, basically.
I credit the wonderful world of psychedelics for you to see the patterns.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of what. And then my next thought is like, dude, you're
it's like
way too much thought into this.
Yeah, the fractals of the buffet,
the Hampton Inn, Hampton Inn in Lincolnshire, Illinois breakfast buffet.
Because you go all the way down the pattern of the fractal, and there's a whole nother pattern.
Pattern. That's right.
That tan briefcase guy's got a whole nother pattern of something else going on, man.
Yep.
In the middle of complete uncertainty and chaos.
Right. In the middle of complete uncertainty and chaos, there's the Hampton Inn breakfast buffet.
I can't wait to post a photo of the breakfast buffet. Even if we don't eat breakfast here tomorrow, that's going to be part
Are we going
to
get that donut place?
There is a donut place. There's also, of course, Waffle House. We could motor out of here and get Waffle House.
That's what I'm saying.
And get, hit the St. Joe Waffle House on the way up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We get a little bowl of cereal here.
Yeah.
And then hit the Waffle House in St. Joe.
Yeah. How do you like your hash browns there?
Scattered, smothered, and covered, bitch. That's it.
I've never been to a Waffle House since I stopped eating animals, so I'm curious. But
well, you don't have to eat animals.
No, but because I went on the website because I'm like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody out there is fucking normal, but I get on the website to plan the meal.
Sure.
They have a peanut butter and chocolate waffle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, I'm about the the All-American, just the waffle and some eggs and a breakfast meat.
The Don't Tread on Me special.
That's exactly what it is. Yup.
Oh, boy. Well, we're going to go see a concert.
We're going to get some pizza and see a concert.
I'm excited about it.
I think that's going to happen. Yeah,
Thank you, Minsky's.
Thank you, Minsky's.
I don't know. Did we do it? I don't even know. I think we did.
I think we've had more pointless podcasts.
I think we have too.
We did talk about being better, so that's good.
We did do some spiritual house cleaning.
Sure, I think so. Yeah, that is frankly kind of the goal of this.
Yeah, here's the reality of what this conversation as a pointed conversation with you prior to going to this.
Yes,
it is focusing. It's centering. Like podcast
Agreed.
or no podcast.
Right.
This is helpful.
I agree. Yeah,
Sets the stage.
fucking A.
Until there's some anti-vaxxer fucking losing his shit at the gate.
What do you mean after my fucking ID?
Just let me in. I have a ticket.
This is bullshit. I paid for this. You're stepping on my freedoms.
I don't want a fucking chip in my brains.
Are you carrying a cell phone, sir?
Oh yeah, I am. I guess I do have a chip in my brain.
God damn it.
The chip that you're holding in your pocket has already altered your behavior any more than a
Pretty
microchip.
much. That's actually very true.
You know what I mean?
That's actually very true. And what's that thing? What was that movie last year?
The Goonies?
Rocky Road?
The social dilemma.
The Social Dilemma. Yes, if you don't believe us, watch The Social Dilemma.
True.
Yup.
Even my whacked out other side of the political spectrum folks were really into that movie too. It's like, oh yeah, we kind of lifted the veil a little bit. Like,
yep,
this is altering our behavior.
These companies know more about us as a species than we do. They know more about our behaviors. They know more about what makes us tick, and they know how to manipulate us in such a way that we think we're being free thinkers.
And we are just conduits of that on this podcast, so that you listen to it, and then your phone listens to you and knows that you have listened to something about Minsky's Pizza.
Right.
And then you're going to see some Minsky's Pizza
Maybe,
ads.
if you're lucky.
If you see a Minsky's Pizza
I started seeing ads for Lou Malnati's Pizza before we went to Chicago on both Facebook and Instagram.
I think it was after the first or second episode we recorded. I think it was before I really got the Instagram really up to snuff.
Yeah.
I started seeing ads for podcast mics and headsets and mixers and all kinds of. Yeah.
It's cool.
Well,
if the service is free, you're the product.
Booyah.
Yep.
They don't call tech companies don't call their customers, they call them users, like cocaine dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Sign me up. First one's always free.
You can find us at Trying to Be Better Podcast on Instagram.
That's right. Trying to Be Better Podcast on Instagram.
Well, we did it. We're going to go eat some Minsky's Pizza.
Sweet. I'm
going to eat some fake meat Italian sausage product.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Later.